Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and help me welcome to the stage U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Secretary, my good friend and native San Antonio, Mr. Julian Castro.
Good evening. It's great to be with y'all this evening. Thank you very much for that warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here with the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I know that y'all have traveled from across the country to be here. I know that we have folks from many different places. Anybody here from California? All right, how about anybody out there from New York? How about Illinois? Anybody from Texas? All right, who's from the great state of Utah? Well, it's clear that we have a diverse group of folks here this evening, and I'm truly honored to be a part of the closing gala. Let me just start off by thanking Mark Rodriguez for his excellent tenure as chair of the Hispanic Chamber. He deserves 100 standing ovations for his great work, and we're proud to call him a San Antonian back home. And just a second ago, I thought he was going to walk off without introducing me. I was like, wait, stop. But y'all have shown him, I think, all of the appreciation that is very well deserved. I also want to thank and congratulate Javier Palomares for all the great work that he has done, and to the board. And I want to let you know that I'm not going to go on too long tonight because I know that I stand between y'all and the after party. So I want to also commend the scholarship winners tonight. Let's give them a big round of applause for their achievements. Y'all are very deserving of the recognition. And finally, I want to thank you, America's Hispanic business owners. As y'all know, our community has a rich tradition of entrepreneurship, from Washington Heights in New York City to the Pilsen neighborhood in Chicago, to Calle Ocho in Miami. Generations of men and women have used their ingenuity and drive to create thriving enterprises. I saw this up close growing up on the west side of San Antonio, where the tiendas and panaderias, the dry cleaners, and other shops contributed so much to the vitality of our neighborhood. And the truth is that entrepreneurs like you cause a ripple effect of change that extends far beyond your bottom lines. In building your businesses, you're building up America's future. I know that from personal experience. I know that what you do isn't easy. Before I became mayor of San Antonio, I had a small law practice with my brother and an office manager, and that was it. I know the pressure that you feel when the phones aren't ringing and customers aren't coming through the door, but I also know how incredibly rewarding it is to provide a product or a service that meets the needs of folks. That's why I'm so appreciative of y'all for rolling up your sleeves, for dreaming big, for innovating, for succeeding. And thanks to your leadership, your hard work, and the work of so many Americans, we gather at a time when our economy is growing. Businesses like yours have created 10 million new jobs over the last 4.5 years. We've had 54 straight months of private sector job growth, the longest streak in American history. And Hispanic-owned businesses have been at the heart of this progress, contributing roughly $500 billion into the economy every single year. The challenge now is to accelerate this progress. And the equation really is very simple. When your firms and companies prosper, our nation prospers. That's why the Obama administration has been working tirelessly to support American entrepreneurship. We've cut taxes for small businesses 18 times. We've helped more small businesses export than ever before. And as Administrator Contreras-Sweet told you yesterday, we're helping entrepreneurs gain new access to credit and to investment. And over the next 2.5 years, HUD is going to do its part. You see, HUD is the Department of Opportunity. We play a unique role in helping folks lift themselves up and better their lives. And as y'all know better than anyone, housing and entrepreneurship are very closely linked. Strong communities help shape strong businesses, which is why we're helping to spark an era of expanding opportunity. This begins with home ownership. In fact, the time has come to remove the stigma associated with promoting home ownership. When done responsibly, home ownership strengthens communities, and generations of Americans have used equity to start their businesses, particularly in minority communities like ours. But right now, the dream of home ownership is out of reach for too many. Some believe that it was too easy to get a home loan in years past. Today, it's too hard, and that causes serious consequences. Estimates are that Hispanics could comprise half of all new home buyers by 2020. Think about that for a second. Between now and 2020, Hispanics could constitute half of all new home buyers. And that's very impressive. But this may not be realized if so many folks continue to be shut out, unable to get a mortgage. At HUD, we're working to change this. We've created a blueprint for access that has two main parts. The first will allow homeowners who commit to housing counseling to qualify for reduced premiums on their FHA-insured loans. This will make mortgage credit more affordable for responsible families, saving the average borrower $10,000 over the life of the loan. The second component focuses on improving our own internal policies to give lenders the certainty they need to extend credit to a wider range of folks. And by increasing access to home ownership, we'll be strengthening families, businesses, and communities for generations to come. It's time that every person who's ready and who's responsible gets their fair shot to buy a place that they can call home. But our work to create an era of expanding opportunity must not stop at the home. Housing should be a springboard to success. And that's why we're linking these homes to the jobs and training that folks need to thrive. So we're bringing to life initiatives from years past that seek to boost access to knowledge and to employment. Later this month, for instance, we'll award $75 million to help public housing authorities connect residents with the education and job opportunities they need to build assets and improve their lives. And through our new Section 3 business registry, we're increasing contracting opportunities for businesses that hire in low-income areas so residents can participate in the growth of their own neighborhoods. And building off past efforts, we're launching a new initiative as part of Jobs Plus that provides employment and training services to public housing residents, as well as financial incentives that hold rents constant even as incomes rise. We're sending a simple message with our actions that no matter what your station is in life, you deserve a chance to succeed in the United States of America. And by giving folks a job today, they can own their own business tomorrow and maybe even become a proud member of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. But to make the most of these opportunities before us, we also have to confront a growing challenge, and that's the challenge of climate change. Places like Utah know that extreme weather isn't just an environmental issue, it's an economic issue. According to FEMA, natural disasters typically claim close to 40% of the small enterprises in their path. Think about that for a second. Just imagine if a storm caused nearly half of this audience to suddenly go out of business. Not only would it hurt you, it would also hurt our entire economy. It's in all of our interest to tackle climate change. And that's why earlier today, President Obama spoke at the United Nations about steps this administration will take to do just that. And as part of this work, HUD is going to be working with communities to increase their resiliency when rebuilding after natural disasters. In fact, just last week, we announced a $1 billion natural disaster resilience competition, which will better prepare folks for extreme weather in the future. And as the President has said, climate change is not an issue we can pass on to future generations. We must act today. So let's work together to make a difference for people, for pocketbooks, and for our planet. In total, HUD is committed to helping make this an era of expanding opportunity by increasing access to home ownership, by boosting access to knowledge and jobs, and by tackling big challenges like climate change. I know that if we went around the room this evening, that we would hear many wonderful stories of generations of folks in this country, in the Latino community, who worked hard, folks who picked crops, who made beds, who served in our armed forces, folks who helped build strong families and strong businesses. I often think about my own grandmother, who came to this country in 1922 and spent her life working as a maid, a cook, and a babysitter. Her name was Victoria, and she dropped out in elementary school before she reached the 4th grade. She and my mother raised Joaquin and me. I often think about how many more Fortune 500 companies would have been started if folks in our families in generations past had been allowed to fully reach their potential. The beauty of living in 2014 is that the young people who were awarded scholarships tonight, all of you who are building up your own businesses, they all have the talent and the brains and the drive and the ability to start those Fortune 500 companies, to be the best that America has to offer. And our challenge in our professional lives, in the private sector and the public sector, is to ensure that opportunity reaches all of us, so that every American has the opportunity to live the American dream. Let's go make it happen. Thank you.